Okay, so let's look at, I suppose, one of the last little parts with your simultaneous equations, which is the word problems. Again, it always comes back to these word problems. So when we're solving simultaneous equation word problems, again, two unknowns, and therefore two variables, two equations, okay? Generally with these, the best advice I could give you is look for the totals, because those are going to give you an indication of how your equations are formed. And these can vary from equation to equation, and we'll look at, I suppose, two different types of the equations. So one where maybe it's kind of difference in the two equations, and one where it's more similar. And we can kind of see how we just kind of slightly vary our approach, but only ever so slightly. For the most part, it's quite similar. So a bag contains 34 coins, all of them either 5 or 10-cent coins. If the value of money in the bag is €2.40, find how many coins are in the bag. So what I said here was look for the totals. I can see two totals here. One is that there are 34 coins in the bag. The other is that the total value is €2.40. Okay, so let's let X be the 50-cent coins, however many I have, and Y be the 10-cent coins, however many I have. Based on the first total I have here, if I add together the number of 50-cent and the number of 10-cent coins I have, I should get 34 coins. For the second one, I know that X is the number of 50-cent coins I have, or 5-cent, excuse me, not 50, 5-cent. If we look at each of these, if I multiply the number of 5-cent coins I have by 5, that should give me the amount of money that I have from those coins. So let's say if X was 6 and I have 6 5-cent coins, I have 30 cents just by multiplication there. So if I have X 5-cent coins, then 5X is the amount of money that I have. So this is the money from the 5-cent coins. Then 10Y is of course the money from the 10-cent coins. And how much money should I have? Well, considering that we've been working in cent, we'll keep it to cent at the end. So we'll just say this is total in cents. So the total in cents at the end there. So I have my two equations now. So 5x plus 10y equals 240, and then x plus y equals 34. Either letter will work for us here. I'm going to go with maybe x, so I'll multiply the bottom equation by minus 5. So I need to get it. I need to have 5, same amount, and negative because different signs. So multiplying by minus 5x here, minus 5y equals, let me see, that'll be minus 170. So that gives me 5y equals 70, and y equals, does that give me 2? Or no, what am I doing? Divided by 5, excuse me, 14. Okay, so y equals 14 there. And x plus y equals 34, filling in my value for y, x plus 14 equals 34, which of course means x is 20. So I have 25-cent coins and 14 10-cent coins. So we can see there, looking for the totals really does help us there in this case to form the two equations that we need, because it gives us a sense of what are these equations about. One was about the number of coins, the other was about the amount of money. I said we'd look at one example where I suppose there's a difference to that. We'll look at this one here. 4 chairs and 2 tables cost €218. That to me looks like nearly a full equation. 6 chairs and 7 tables cost €587. That again to me looks like probably a second equation. Find the total cost of buying 20 chairs and 5 tables. So let's have a look. 4 chairs and 2 tables equals €218. So I did say that seems like a full equation to me, and by letting C be chairs, T be tables, does seem to be working it. 6 chairs and 7 tables is €587. Again, seems good to me. Okay, looking at the two numbers I have here, I have 6 and 4, and then 2 and 7. 2 and 7, I'm aiming for 14. 6 and 4, I can kind of shoot for 12. So we'll go for 12 maybe. I'm going to multiply the top one by minus 3, and I'm going to multiply the bottom by 2. So that's going to give me minus 12c minus 6t equals, and let's do 218 by 3 minus 654. And the bottom one, 12c 14t equals 587 by 2, 1174. So that is 8t equals 1174 minus 654, 520. So t equals, dividing both sides by 8 here, 520 divided by 8, 65. So the cost of, I suppose, a table is €65. We know 4 chairs plus 2t is 218. 4 chairs plus 265 is 218. 4 chairs plus 130 is 218. 4 chairs is 218 minus 130, 88. So C is 22. So €22 for a chair, €65 for a table. The question actually didn't ask me to stop here. It asked me for the cost of 20 chairs and 5 tables. So let's have a look at that. Fill in 22 for C, 65 for T, and we can work that one out just on our calculator here. Plus 5 times 65, €765. So as with, I suppose, any of the word problems we've looked at, the quadratic or the normal linear word problems that we've been looking at, the key thing here is just going to be the translating to mathematics, really. The actual solving of the equations once you have done it, very, very similar, if not identical to the steps we've been following all along, but it's just the translation. And really with that, I would say look for the totals more than with other word problems. With your simultaneous ones, you're looking at those totals. Those are really going to point you in the right direction in terms of forming those equations, because they just give you the best sense of how are the equations made up and what are they supposed to represent here. But beyond that then, very, very similar. It's the same exact steps that we've been using for all our simultaneous equations.